Welcome to Ascoli. Tonight I'm doing my live crafting together. So it's Tuesday the 6th of June. It's been a long week. But I finished my small, where is it? Oh, I don't know if it's on my photos on Instagram, but I finished my my larger version of my mini tulip fields, and I have not had a chance to get it up, like the pattern up. I just have not had time, so it's done. And then this is like the mini one. These are the same pattern, so I use the exact same pattern for both of these, but this one is like upside down. This one is very small, right? Like my finger, and this one's a little bit bigger. This one is 14 count fabric, and I think this one is 28 count even weave, and this one's Ada. So that's just the difference in the size when you stitch it. So I've got to, I have to get that listing up. But, you know, my quarter ends next week, and I'm a little bit swamped, so I don't know when I'll get it up. But I also have another one that I started. I don't know if you can actually see what it is yet. I just started it. But it's going to be a strawberry. So, but I'm not working on either of those tonight. That one I made also stitch on a black. I have a little scrap of black. I'm going to see how big it is on this. This is 14 count, the white is, and this is, I think the black is 14 count as well. So I'm going to stitch on the black too and see how it looks, because it's got really bright colors. It's the strawberry from, I don't have a photo of it right here. I just have the pattern, which I'm not going to show you. But it's the, I drew some strawberry drawings like last month, and so it's just the, I made a pattern out of one of them. So, but today what I'm working on for Pride Month is my self-care every day rainbow pattern. I finished the white one. I finished this a few weeks ago, but I'm going to stitch it on black with variegated thread. And I started it earlier. I haven't really used variegated thread before, like ever. I have a whole bunch of it because, you know, I obsessively bought thread for a very long time, but I haven't actually like used it before. So I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. I'm okay if I'm not, because this pattern is so like, it's fast and it's kind of chunky. Like this one doesn't take, it takes maybe 5 hours to stitch for me. I'm sure if you're a beginner, it might take you closer to 10 or 12, but the thump. Did you guys hear the thump of the dog who wants to come in and lick my face while I'm talking? She wants it to come in. But this pattern doesn't take that long. Like, especially like the second time around, it's taking way less time because I already know kind of what's going on with it. But black fabric is harder to stitch on than white, I find. So I have some left over. I have some scraps. I did like a Halloween alphabet cat out of a magazine, like, you know, a decade ago or whatever. And then I just never found a use for that black fabric. So I'm going to try it a little bit because I really like my midnight flower, the holographic, the midnight rainbow flowers that I did, the sticker and the postcard. I really like that look with like the black, the dark background, and then the pop of color. So I'm going to do more of that. I think it's pretty cool. That's just my lost keeper. It's rattling on the thing. So I'm going to do this pattern in the black with the rainbows. And then I'm also going to do some more. I have some ideas rattling around in my head, but I just haven't really had a chance to like, you know, get them going and ready and everything like that, because it's just hard, you know. I'm hoping that everybody can hear me. It looks like it's picking up my sound, so let's hope. Because I don't know, my microphone was not working earlier. But, you know, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, you should subscribe, and then you can do the chat. I have been trying to post my grocery hauls recently, but I did go today and I did not film it. I didn't really buy that much. I didn't film it because I literally got home at 2:20, and I hadn't had lunch yet, and I just had to eat really quickly and then get some schoolwork done before my kids got home from school. So I did not film my grocery haul this afternoon, but I only bought a couple things from Target. I just got some like pre-made chicken breast and pasta sauce and some pasta to make lunch. That's basically all I bought. And sunscreen, because we are out of sunscreen. And I can't send my kids to school without sunscreen on. So they play outside for too much. Like, I do not want them to get sunburned. So I had to buy some sunscreen for the kids because we're almost out. But we're still trying to eat through our pantry this month. And our pantry and our freezer. And my garden is starting to grow a little bit. We got one potato today. It's one that, so I don't know if you're the same as me, but I like to check the potatoes to see if there's any growing. I'm super impatient. I will not wait till they die off to see if there's any potatoes under there. I'm really bad at like digging them around the edges and checking. And this was one that I had dug a couple days ago and then reburied. I reburied it because, you know, you can't eat them when they're green because it's poisonous. But when a sprinkler ran on it last couple days, it must have like unburied it again, or the squirrels unburied it because it was like totally exposed. So I dug it up. So I have one potato, and it's pretty big. It's like the size of small potato. I mean, it's pretty big. Maybe like 3 inches long and about an inch, 2 inches around. So it's pretty big, but yeah, I'm not good at that. My husband always gives me a hard time and tells me to leave the potatoes alone. So they're growing. I got to start hilling them up a little bit though, but I have one bag of soil. I don't know if it's going to be enough. So the potatoes in my garden are all ones that I got from like russets that had sprouted in my cupboards, you know, because I always use my potatoes when I cook them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I need one more row. So this is where I'm at now. I don't know if you can see the variegation in there. It's just very slight. So we'll see. I mean, it's basically the same colors that I used, only they're the variegated ones. So, but I'm hoping they'll pop out on the black a little bit and like have like kind of a different look. But I don't know what color I'm going to do the self-care letters in. So if you are watching and you have an idea on the self-care letters, like I can't do black, right? Because then they'll just blend in these letters here. So I'm not sure what color to use. I'm thinking of maybe, I told my kids I didn't know what color I was going to use. I'm thinking of maybe blending with a glow-in-the-dark thread. Or I'm going to go to Joann maybe and see if I can find, like all my variegated threads are just like one color variegated with white, or like a lighter version, not like purple. Like the purple is, you know, white and purple. I don't think I have any that are like rainbow. But I think rainbow would be fun, right? Because the rest of the thing is rainbow. Like it might be fun to do that in a variegated thread. Thinking. So I may post like a different version of this pattern with the variegated threads listed after I get this one done. I don't know. And I don't know if this piece of fabric is big enough because I think this is 16 count and this is 14 count, but it's the same size hoop. So we'll see. I do have a 7-inch hoop somewhere. I don't know where. I think it's in my bag. So I do have a bigger hoop that I could pop it over to, but oh yeah, this looks bigger. Look. So this is the hole across of the heart. It definitely looks bigger than this one. It's going to be big, but that's okay. Cross stitching. I know some people are really exact with their cross stitching, but I am not. I'm like a kind of loosey-goosey. I'm the same way with my gardening too. So I don't know. I put my plants in. I don't like make sure they're perfect. I'm not good at like following the directions, and I was good enough, you know. I'm not like, my goal with gardening is not to get perfect yields and, you know, perfect vegetables. My goal with gardening is like a stress reliever, it's self-care, and to have a little bit of food. You know, the kids really enjoy that kind of like, it's good for them. I think it's really good for them to see the whole process, you know, to plant the potatoes, to see when they come up, you know, they get to see them in the like sprouted form because, you know, I leave them in my cupboard and they sprout. But like the garlic, you know, I always leave some of my like kale and collards and what else? Swiss chard. I'm not sure about Swiss chard, but I know that kale and collards are biennials. Biennials. So they flower on the second year a lot of the time. Maybe they are annuals, but if you plant them in the fall, they'll flower in the spring. No, see, now I don't remember. I should know this. I really should. I'll look it up. But I leave some plants to overwinter, and then I let them flower in the spring. And then the seeds, I let the seeds dry out on the plant, right? The bees love kale plants, flowers, like the brassica flowers. And maybe they are annuals. I'm thinking of turnips is what I'm thinking of, I think. I'm tired. But the bees love them, and then, you know, they get pollinated. And then what I did last year, instead of buying a whole bunch of new kale seeds, I just took the entire stem, like, you know, when the flowers, the whole thing, when they've all dried out, all the little seeds pods had formed and they were dry and rattly. I took them and I set them in areas around my garden where I didn't want weeds, and I wanted some like natural kale plants to go. And that's, this year I have 1 million baby kale plants, and I'm sure in a couple years I'm going to be annoyed with how many kale plants I have. But to be honest, I would much rather have kale as a weed, or Swiss chard, or, you know, collard greens, or lettuce than stuff I can't eat, like Stinky Bob, which is currently what is taking over my garden. The Stinky Bob, I went and pulled it last weekend. It was crowding out my mint. It was killing off my mint plants. It was so bad down the side of my hill. I took a whole large green tote of Stinky Bob out of this small little area on the side of my hill. So I would much rather have a kale issue than the Stinky Bob, because I can't eat Stinky Bob and I'm allergic to it. So when I pull the weeds for the Stinky Bob, I get a rash if I'm not careful. I have to wear gloves and I have to wear lip long sleeves. So that's my plan for this year. I'm going to kind of like I'm redefining the weeds in my garden to be edible plants. I do have a lot of the red vein sorrel in my yard. So if anybody's local and they want some red vein sorrel, you are welcome to come dig it up, because the year I moved in, there was one plant, and now there's about 1 million, and I cannot for the life of me pull them out of the ground fast enough. And they don't taste good. So if you're just joining us, welcome. We're talking about reseeding our garden with like edible plants instead of weeds, right? Like kale seeds instead of Stinky Bob, which I do not like. So Stinky Bob is not edible. But I'm working on this for Pride Month. I think it's great to support people. So we're going to do this self-care every day. And it also helps remind me, like, I've kind of lost some of my self-care stuff this month. I've been stitching, but it's not been self-care stitching, right? Stitching something for my business is not always like, it's work sometimes, which is fine. It's fun work. I love stitching, but like, I haven't worked on my alphabet zoo in a while. My computer wizard is still off the Q snap from when I put on my large purple tulip fields pattern. Like, look how small it is. It's not done yet. I want to finish it. Like, I really want to finish this one. So I rewatched my flosstube video, my first flosstube video. Oh, I should probably link the pattern that I'm doing, huh? I'm not good at remembering that kind of stuff. All right, let me find it. I have about a million tabs open. I don't have that one open. Okay, I can open a new tab. Let's see. I want to work on some of my I just want to work on some of my I can't type and talk at the same time. I want to work on some of my patterns that I've been working on because I like watched my floss tube from the beginning of the year. Then I've only got one floss tube up to, which is I need to have more than one floss tube up, guys. If I'm doing cross stitching, like I really need to have more than one floss tube up. So, all right, here's the link to my self-care everyday pattern. And when I finish this one, I'm gonna totally I'm gonna post a picture of it in black, I think, or I'll do another listing with the variegated threads. But I need to have more than one floss tube up, and I realized like I've done some of the things I said I would do at the beginning of the year, but it's just hard, like finding that time. It's really hard finding time. So, and all my stitching time has been like for work. Like I literally, this is how fun I am. I watch videos either on like how to do Etsy stuff, or I'm watching for my school. There's all these lecture videos I have to watch. I watch those while I'm working on samples. And that's how I've been getting my stitching done, is I've been multitasking with stitching and research, or, you know, learning stuff for school. It's the only way I can get any stitching done, or when I do these. But I need to find like time during the day to do something fun, because I haven't done anything fun in weeks. Like just downtime kind of stuff. So I don't know. How are you guys doing with your self-care stuff this year? It's been my push this year. I have a bunch of puzzles I want to do. They're still on the ground behind me. I don't know if you guys saw last week when I was doing my live. They were still there. I haven't cleaned my office out at all, and it's really wearing on me. I don't like having a messy office. I don't know if you saw the photo I posted of Luna next to the books. Those are books I pulled off my kids' bookshelves last week or 2 weeks ago, maybe even now, that I need to give away. And my neighbor has like a 2-year-old. He turns 2, I think in the next couple weeks, and she's gonna go through them, but I'm still in my office. My office is not as big as it looks. It's actually pretty small. So it's small with all the furniture in here, I guess I should say. 2 desks, the shelf, neighbors. So anyways, I'm going to keep working on my self-care goals. I'm really excited to stitch this one. So I guess this dark one is not. Get another row done. It's kind of crazy. You can see through it, right? It's like a shadow. But all right, now I gotta look at my pattern because I gotta see I did all 4, and now I have to go in one on each side. This one's gonna be fun to stitch, and I gotta figure out what thread to do, like the letters, because I just don't know. If anybody has any ideas, let me know. Like I really want to do some sort of variegated thread, maybe, or maybe have some Krenlic, but have you guys ever stitched with Krenlic? It's like the sparkly stuff that's like a nightmare to stitch with. I don't know if I want to be stitching on black and at the same time dealing with thread that knots super easily and breaks super easily. Like I don't know if that appeals to me at this point in my life. So I don't know. Maybe next week I'll do like a different kind of craft. I don't know. I'm still trying to find a good time for people, but It sounds like midweek might work for somebody, midday in the middle of the week, but it's not going to work for me this week. So I did tonight, but I'll have to look at next week and see. We're getting towards the end of the year when there's all that stuff at school that you have to be there for your kids. You know, they have events every single day. My kids are cleaning out their desks this week, which seems really early to us, but you know, I guess they don't really go to school much the last week or two of school. I mean, they don't do a whole lot of academic stuff. No homework. There was no homework last week or this week. My poor daughter is just like, she likes to be busy. She's like me. She went and found a workbook to do so she would have some like academic stimulation or some brain work on her own. It wasn't us. So, you know, she's my smart girl. She loves to do that kind of stuff. So she's thought it out on her own. Anyways, it's been really hot here. Not hot, but hot enough. I may have to go buy some more popsicles. My kids ate mine, and I can't eat them all. Like, I'm allergic to coconut, and anything that's frozen that has like that chocolate, you know, like the kind of shell, it's all coconut oil. So I can't have any of those. There's only a couple that I can have. Oh no, not me. I'm not yawning. Oh no, I think I lost my thread. I did. Oh no. I yawned and I lost my needle. Gosh dang it. It's near the end. You know when you're near the end of your needle, of your thread, and you have to rethread your needle so you can do like the tie-off stitch. So anyways. Like, what is everybody else planting this year? Are you guys planting stuff in your gardens? Are you lazy like me and just like, I have kitchen potatoes. I'm gonna plant those. I'm not doing a lot this year. I've been working on my mom's house, and I stuck some plants in the ground over there. But then I realized, like, as I was leaving that and now I have to make sure I water her plants every single day. Like, it's doubling my work because I have to water at my house, and now I have to water there. And I haven't been keeping up with the watering at my house because I went out when I was looking at the potatoes, everything is dry. So I think in the morning I'm going to scrape the top of the soil because it looks like it's a little bit compacted on all my pots and stuff, and then I'm going to water again. And I do not have irrigation set up. I just use a sprinkler because it's easy. Luckily this year the sprinkler's on a timer, because before it was on a timer I would forget, and then like 2 hours later my husband would take a dog out. He'd be like, did you mean to leave the sprinkler on for 2 hours? Because I can't hear it. Like, if it's over on the side, I can't hear that the water's going. You know, I'd be in meetings and stuff, and I wouldn't realize that I would get caught up in work, and I just wouldn't realize that I left the sprinkler on all day. So we used to have really high water bills in the summer, but not today. Not now. I don't think I've been watering enough. I've been kind of doing like every third day, but I think I need to do every other day or every day. But it's kind of a pain to move the sprinklers around because every time I go outside without the dogs, they get really excited and then I can't calm them down. Like if I run the sprinkler for 20 minutes on the timer, then I have like for an hour, I have three times. Like when I put the first sprinkler out, and then the first 2 times, and the third one I just leave it. But because I have 3 different sections at least where I need to sprinkle the water. And I don't even water the back. Like I'm probably going to have to start watering the back this year. Because some of my plants did not make it last year. And the heat wave. Like a couple of my hydrangeas. And I know that wasn't why my neighbors put the fence up on that side. But I kind of feel like it is because that side of the yard is like a total eyesore. It's dark and it's hard to get to. Like, we've never really maintained it. So, but my husband went and took care of a lot of it this weekend. He moved back up the weeds and it looks a lot better. But I know I lost plants because like I can't get the hose back there. It's really impossible to get the hose in that area. So, all right, I'm gonna keep going with my thread. Got a new thread. I don't know how I feel about this variegated stuff. I don't feel like it's that much so far, I guess I should say. I don't feel like it's that much better than regular thread, and I think it's more expensive than regular thread. I don't know. I bought it, a decade ago, so I don't know how much I paid, but I'm assuming it's more expensive because it's special, right? I know. I still need to get my camera for the. There's so many things to do, but it's nice stitching and chatting with people. I know that there's not a lot of people on my stream right now, but I really want these to build and be like a community building thing. I am going to start trying to go to some more like crafting events in my area, in the Pacific Northwest kind of areas, and meet some meetup groups and stuff and see if I can find people. It'd be kind of nice because I don't really know a whole lot of people. I know a couple of people, but who do have businesses, but I met them like in real life many years ago. But it'd be nice to meet new people. So a lot of my friends aren't crafty, like my mom friends. They're all like into business and stuff and work. But I mean, I worked too for a long time, but I don't know. I do know a couple of people that knit. Oh gosh, I gotta make sure I'm paying attention to my stitching. I'm just chatting away. I'm not paying attention to my stitching. Okay, I need to stop there. So I go on to the next row. You'll see if there's like people local that want to get together. So if you are local and you wanted to craft like somewhere, like a place that's public, and I don't know, maybe set up an event or something, like a meet and greet, that'd be fun. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I still haven't put my face on my regular videos. I only do it for the lives. And there really isn't a reason for that beyond I just haven't tried filming an intro or an outro yet. I think when I decided I was going to start doing it, I haven't posted any new videos since then, except for the lives. So I did not do a Frisian Freezer recap last week. And the reason why I didn't do a Frisian Freezer recap last week is because we had some emergency stuff going on with our dog. And I did not have time to film it. And then I was not really able to. So I am probably going to film one this Thursday. My fridge is pretty empty because we're trying to clean it out a little bit. So I might have to clean it out, like deep clean it. It's so empty. I don't know. We're like feast or famine. My kids are growing too. Both my kids are eating quite a bit, and my daughter, who's almost to that preteen stage, she's just hungry and tired all the time. I'm pretty sure she's going to have another growth spurt this summer. She does every summer, and I think it's starting a little bit early. Usually it's not till the end of July, August. Like she literally outgrows all her summer clothes in the middle of summer every year. So I have learned I now buy in the middle of summer when everything's on clearance, I buy the next size up like at the end of July. And then by August, the middle of August, when none of her summer clothes fit, they fit her. And then they also fit her in the spring, in the first half of the summer for the next year. So she just does all her growing in the summer. My kids are like weeds. They need a little bit of sunshine and then they just take off. So I'm sure that she's going to grow really fast here in the next few weeks. We just had to buy her the next size up bike, and I don't know if she'll still be in that size next year. But my son, they're 2 years apart, right? They're only 5 inches apart in height. My son is really tall too. They both are. They're both like some of the tallest kids in their classes. So he just like, I literally pull clothes out of her drawer and just hand them to him. They're just a little bit big, but they fit him. Like stuff that I buy that's unisex, you know? So, and sometimes not unisex. Like he went through a really, really, really big pink phase too. You know, whatever they like. All right, I'm done with the top half of the heart. Yeah, so the top half of the heart is done. See, that went really fast. You know, that was only 20 minutes. And I was talking too, right? I'm not like heads down stitching. I'm chit-chat stitching. So, all right. So I've got my one in. And I don't like, I'm a lazy counter, right? If my pattern, if the, like this heart, right? It's hard to see. It's so small. But you see, these are each one in from the one before. So I just say in my head, one in, and then a whole row, and then it's one in on the other side. I don't say it's 17 stitches because it's easier for me to count that way. All right. So we have the first one in, and then we have 1, 2, a few more. All right. Let's start at the bottom. I'll make a pretty back. I'll push it through the back. I don't always, but this one I think it'll matter a little bit more. So, all right. Well, I was hoping that posting this live earlier would help with people knowing about it, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I guess I didn't really post anything online, so I'm not going to be live. I did this morning. It's all right. I will just sit here and stitch and get my work done and think about my next patterns. I'm going to do the strawberry. Hopefully I'll have that done by the end of the week. And then that one will go up next week on the shop site, on the Oscowie shop. And then after that, I don't know what I'm going to stitch next. So if you have any ideas, if you're still here and you have any ideas, let me know. Or if you're watching this afterwards, I always have a playlist afterwards with my lives, so you can watch them later if you can't make the time. So let me know, you know, if you have any ideas. I think I might do like strawberries and then just I don't know about July. I think my neighbors are chit-chatting out there. I don't know about July. Like 4th of July is tricky. Just because I'm not a fan of fireworks. I know my shirt is very patriotic today, but I don't like fireworks. They just are loud and they burn things down. And my neighbors go crazy every year, and the poor dogs are just so upset. So we used to go to Canada every year. And we had little dogs, but we have big dogs, so getting them across the border is a little bit harder just because they take up so much space in the car. And one of our dogs, George, gets horribly car sick. He is not good in the car. The vet, when we first got him, we told him about how car sick he got, and the vet was like, "Oh, don't worry. The more you drive him in the car, the less car sick he will be." No. He is just a dog that gets motion sick really easily. He is thrown up so many times all over the car. It's so gross. So he does not get to go on a lot of road trips because poor George gets an upset stomach every time he drives in the car. It's really bad. So, no, he's not a car dog at all. And it's weird. Like, I've never seen a dog, especially a big dog, like not like the car. He hates it. He will tolerate it on the way out to like Whidbey Island to see my dad. But it's not a lot of driving. Like, it's just driving to the ferry, and then the ferry is not too long. That ferry is only like 15, 20 minutes, right? And then like it's mostly just sitting in line. So He doesn't get very sick on that one, at least. I don't think so, at least. My daughter's the one that takes him, but he's not a good girl. Luna does okay, but she likes to bark at people. She's really barky. And I just don't know about having her in the fairy line waiting and just, I don't think I can tolerate her barking at people the entire time you're waiting, like an hour or so. She's also very loud. Like, I just don't know. I think it would stress her out too much. She gets stressed out really easily. She's a nervous dog. So if you are thinking of getting a herding dog, just know they are nervous if they don't have enough stuff to do. And we give her tons to do, like tons. I started her with training, with agility, like so much stuff to do. So she just she needs a lot. And I don't even think like if we lived out on a farm and she ran all day, it would be enough. She's insane. We did get her from a farm, but that was like different issues, right? She'd never been around cars. She didn't know like stairs. She'd never seen stairs before. Like, and to get in and out of our house, we have stairs. So that was a challenge the first few months. Like she would literally try and jump over them and then she would pull you down like it was just not a good time. So, but she'd never been like walked on a leash before. Like there's so many things that can happen. And she was still a puppy. I mean, we got her at 12 weeks. But those first 3 months are really important for that kind of like exposure. And then we couldn't take her anywhere when we got her because we couldn't get her vaccinated for like a month or 2 months after we got her. We saw the way the pet insurance was. We found out that one of her siblings had like a severe reaction to a vaccine and he wasn't able to be vaccinated. And we just didn't want to take the chance with her because then the pet insurance would have just denied her 100%. You know, if she has a history of this like severe vaccine, like he had to be hospitalized. It was so bad. So we had to delay her 2 months, and by then she was almost 6 months, and like it was right during Omicron. Like we didn't, she didn't get socialized as much as she should have. But I'm sure she's not the only COVID dog that didn't get socialized as much as she could have. And part of that was because kennel cough was also going around all the dog parks that winter. And when you have a puppy under a year, like kennel cough is really a lot more dangerous than an older dog. So we were super cautious with her. And anyways, let me tell you all about Luna. She's the best though. She's super sweet. She's just crazy. But we're kind of a crazy family, so it kind of works out. You know, kids keep her active. There's enough people around usually. Like someone's always home. Either me or my husband or the kids or my oldest daughter. Like even if we're gone on the weekends, she'll come over and just hang out, do her laundry, and just hang out. So the dog rarely left alone. And if they are, it's never more than a few hours. So they are well loved. I'm almost done with this row. I'll show you guys again. I feel like the summer has like crept up on me. I know it's already halfway through June. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the heat. That's for sure. But I did let my trees grow extra big last year so that I didn't trim them as much. So I'm almost done with the heart. I didn't trim them as much because I wanted the shade this year. I'm hoping it works. And then like the bush outside this window, Oh, which way am I? I let that grow really big too because this is my office. And when the sun hits this room in the summer, it's like really hot in the afternoon. And I don't want to roast. So, like, I can't really see the street from the window anymore because there's so many branches. But it keeps the room a lot cooler during the day, which is what I wanted. And then in the winter, this tree doesn't have any leaves, so it doesn't look like the light in the winter, which is kind of nice. So, yeah, it's like sustainable air conditioning. So, all right, I may have to end this a little early just because I'm so tired. I think I'm going to finish this this heart, and then I'm probably going to go to bed. I have to take another shower because I was outside gardening and my allergies are just so awful. I was at the park yesterday with the kids and I walked by like a tree or something and I just started coughing and everybody stared at me and just like it's allergies, like my asthma was set off by something. But that's how bad my asthma has been this year. Like if I walk by something I'm allergic to, I get these coughing fits and I just have to drink some water and I'm fine. Like I usually don't need my inhaler. I try and avoid the inhaler if I can, just because it makes me really jittery and then I can't sleep that night. So if I can just drink a little bit of water and like be fine after a couple minutes, then I won't do the inhaler. But oh my gosh, everyone stared at me. Everybody's so cautious now. So it's like now you can't do any of that without people getting upset. And I get it because COVID is not good. You do not want it. It's just allergies. It really is. See, I tried to center this heart, but now I'm looking at it, and I don't think it's centered. Dang it. It's okay. It's probably close enough, but because I'm sure that there are people out there that see my patterns all like wonky on my hoops and just like wonder what I'm doing because I never center the stitching on the, like, see this one? It's way up because it's the center of the fabric, but I didn't center my fabric on the hoop. I was kind of lazy about placing it. So I knew it was the center of the fabric, but it didn't center on the hoop. And I need to iron these, but I don't know where my iron is. I don't know where it is. I think it's in my closet, but it's almost like too hot to iron, right? I don't know. I don't like ironing, so I avoid it. I think when I get a bunch of them done, I'll probably just press them really quick. I also got to check them and see if I need to like wash them at all, because that one of my friend's kids was touching and, little kids have grubby fingers. I mean, I asked him to stop. He stopped right away when I asked him to, but still. And Luna has been sniffing my stitching quite a bit. She's very interested in it, and she has a wet nose. So I don't know. I'm almost done. I guess I'll be really close to an hour, but next week I'm going to try and do a mid-morning. It'll probably be Tuesday morning, just because the rest of the week I'm swamped. Let me double check. It may be Tuesday morning. So next week I'll post it on there. I'll post it on the everything. But I'll probably do another one. So pattern. And then I probably won't do one for a few weeks. I don't know. I'm going to have to see. Because then, like, we get busy with summer stuff. Or my kids start going to bed super late. And I don't want them being loud while I'm doing this. Right? Like, you guys don't want to hear my kids being loud at night. They get crazy. Like dance parties and everything. So we'll see. All right. I'm done with this purple. So maybe by the time I do the next live next week, Let me show you what I've got because I'm just finished it. Let me just tie off my needle. All right. So I got the whole purple heart done. Does it help if I put my hand behind it? Does it focus better? The whole purple heart done for this. This is the self-care everyday pattern on black, which I'm hoping will look really good. That's the white one. I'm doing this one on black fabric. So maybe I will start, I think. Maybe I will start. See, the thing is, I don't want to do the letters yet, right? Because I have to figure out what thread to pick for my letters. So if you have any ideas, let me know. I'm thinking of doing like a rainbow variegated thread for that. But I don't know. I may have to go to Joann and see what they have. I don't have like a really fancy needle shop in my area. I would really love it if there was like a small independent needle shop kind of really close to me. But there's just not any that I know of. I would much rather support that than Joann, but I just don't know of any. So maybe I'll work on my strawberries for a little bit, just in case. So this is the strawberry that I just started yesterday. And it's based on a drawing that I made. And I think this is the top. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I did the top towards the little screw thing because I was worried I wouldn't be able to tell. Have you guys ever done that where you start a pattern and it looks like, oh, I have one that I'm still not sure if I got it right. So, oh, that one I'm not sure. I haven't finished it yet either. So, but this one, I have this pattern and it's huge. And this one is only 4 colors. So the colors of this strawberry are, there's 2 different shades of pink. And I'm going to have this, oh, you can't even see it. It's not any different on here. Let's see. If I put it up against the white, maybe let's see it first. Let's see. Maybe. Oh, it's hard to see. One's darker and one's more like of an orangey pink. And then I've got 2 shades of green, which you probably can't tell the difference on. And then a yellow. So what I did was I took my, when I do my drawing, I drew with my, see it says mom on it because these are mom's pens. I use my Pentel ones. And I basically grabbed my thread box and held them up to the pens to figure out which colors matched. And these are the ones that I came up with. So that's what I did to get these colors, the right colors for the strawberry. And I've only done a little bit of it. And so far it looks pretty good. And I have my pattern, but I wasn't crossing off when I was stitching. So I maybe have to write on it now because I'm going to get lost on this one, I think. I don't even remember where I started, which is a problem. Okay, I started up here. So I've done these, this, and then I have 2 rows. 1, 2. Okay. I don't have a pattern keeper or anything like that because they're only on Android tablets and I have like a really, really old iPad. So I can't download like a floss keeper pattern keeper thing. So I always print mine out. Plus my kids like seeing where I've colored in. And they like picking out the colors that I use too. So, okay, so this one is going to have 1 passed on the left and then goes to the edge. So we'll see. And I did not measure this fabric. I mean, you can see that it doesn't really fit the whole hoop. But I didn't measure this to make sure that the pattern will fit the strawberry. So if you're joining us, let me know what you're working on. I did my heart, the heart part of my self-care everyday pattern for Pride Month. I'm doing that one as a rainbow pattern. And then I got to figure out what to do the letters in yet. I still don't know what I do the letters in. I haven't decided. I may stop at the store tomorrow. I may look through my thread. I think I don't have them out, so I can't just look right now. But I have to dig through. I can't really reach my threads though because I have all those puzzles in front of my desk. And then I also have like 5 diamond paintings that I got that I haven't actually looked at yet because I just don't have space to open them up. And I want to do like a diamond painting haul video. Oh, that's not my water. Like a diamond painting haul video sometime. So I haven't opened them up yet because I bought ones from Diamond Art Club, which I've never done before, and I think I peeked at one, but I haven't done those ones yet. I'm still have mixed feelings about diamond painting. I find it incredibly soothing, but it's plastic and it's little plastic pieces everywhere, and that's not good for the environment. So I am, and like, what happens if your glue on your diamonds like fails in 10 years? Like a cross stitch pattern lasts forever, right? There's all those antique samplers that you can find in museums. Like if you get quality thread and quality fabric, it'll last a really long time. So I know you can seal them, and I do have some sealer for my diamond paintings, but I'm trying to limit how many I get. I think it's probably a lot more sustainable to do cross stitch patterns. So, and it's basically the same thing, right? You're filling in little squares. It's just with the diamond painting, it's little tiny bits of plastic instead of thread. So that's the main difference. But it is really soothing. I can see why people love it. And clearly I like it because I bought 5 and they're gigantic, and I don't know, I was crazy. My kids were like, why did you buy more if you haven't finished the ones you started? But you know, when you're crafty stuff, that's kind of what you do. I also bought a bunch of fabric and stuff to make dresses. I made that enough for 2 dresses, and then I have some extra that I really liked. But now that I'm looking at this purple fabric that I bought, these purple flowers, I'm going to confess this, and I'm pretty sure that my husband is probably going to watch this. I think it's the same one that my grandma had growing up, and I may have some of it already in the bins that I have. I have like 4 bins of quilting fabric that I inherited from my grandma when she passed a few years ago. I think the reason why I liked this like purple or blue, I think it's blue, flower pattern is because I saw it growing up a million times in her. She used to let us go into her quilting cabinet, which was like an entire closet, by the way. My grandma, I did not get my craft hoarding, fabric stash, thread hoarding stuff from nowhere. It just didn't come out of the blue. My grandma was the same way. So she used to let us dig through all her fabrics when I was growing up, which was like the best thing ever, just to pull them out and look at them. But I don't know. It looks familiar to me in some ways. I also have fabric of my own that I have not touched since, you know, my kids were little. So I may have already bought it and it's in that stash too. Those are in different boxes. And I think those ones are downstairs in my husband's office. So I need to really get out all my sewing stuff and dig through it and organize it. Because we had it out and then like it just didn't work where it was. So we put it all back away and then we got it out again because my daughter was doing sewing classes. So like we had a lot of the sewing stuff out, and I grabbed fabric like out of the stash for her to play with. And, you know, we shuffled bedrooms around and stuff. And so it just, you know, it's hard, I think, to have dedicated sewing space. Like, I don't know if you guys are running into that too, but having like a dedicated crafting space is kind of hard. It's difficult. Like, I'm really lucky to have my own office. Like, my husband has an office and I have an office. Like, we are very lucky to have the space. But, you know, when you have kids, they kind of take over the entire house. So, I don't know. I would love to have more space for my crafting stuff because I don't have space for my sewing stuff and my cross stitching stuff and my business stuff to be all in the same room right now. So the sewing stuff got pushed back out of the way. And my sewing machine is out. It's in our bedroom on the floor because we don't have anywhere to put it. So I'm going to figure that out. I did go all the way across. Okay. I can't lose my stitching. I can't forget where I'm at. So if you're just joining us, I'm working on this like strawberry one that I made. And I already did my I did the heart for my self-care every day, but oh, there's a bug. Oh, you see that? It's a huge moth. It just flew in my face. Excitement, excitement on the live stream. It's this one, but I'm doing it on black, and I need to find a thread. I need to find a thread for my letters. I gotta do that. I'll do that this week. Maybe next week I'll surprise you guys with a thread color. But yeah, it's hard to find space for stuff like sewing. I think especially when you have kids in the house. Like once they're out, because you can't leave it out, like, right? I can't just leave it on the dining room table because it's where we eat. And kids are messy, and the dogs would probably get into it too, honestly, because they're kind of, curious about stuff. Okay, so I gotta pay attention when I'm doing it. I need to do 4. 1. Can't lose track. So I don't know. I would love to sew more. I'm not very good at sewing. I'm too loosey-goosey with my cutting. I cannot cut straight to save my life, but I'm sure if I did it more, I could practice it. But I just don't have time to do everything. But nobody has time to do everything. So, we'll see. This year I'm going to work on my puzzles some more, and then I got to also do I'm trying to work through my stitching. Like I was saying earlier, like watching my flosstube from the beginning of the year was really, I remembered what I was going to do this year. It's already June, right? I'm halfway through the year. I thought I was going to finish my alphabet zoo by the end of February. I did not finish my alphabet zoo by the end of February. I did get a lot more done. I don't know if I have it. I do. It's sitting under the Q-snap. But see, I got a lot of it done. I got like a lot of this border on the inside, and then this square. So I just have 2 squares left. And then I just have to do the name and like the birth date in the center. And then you see all these white patches? There's no thread there. I haven't decided if I'm going to fill it in, excuse me, with white, or if I'm just going to leave the fabric, because to me, filling that all in with white does not sound like fun. And then I have to do the back stitching, which may do me in because I'm not a fan of back stitching, and there's so much back stitching on that one. And also it was like the little threads were pre-cut and everything, and I was really concerned about running out of thread, especially like for the first few squares. So some of those squares I just stopped stitching. Like there's sections where I only had like a few stitches left, and I just didn't do them because I was afraid that I would run out of thread. And I thought, well, if I have to, I can like look in my stash and find something similar and just fill in. But I better mark this because this pattern is. Some patterns I don't need to mark, and some patterns I do, and this one I definitely do. I can print this one out again. Okay, so I did this one. Yes. And this one. All right, and I did all of those. So now I can go underneath. Should I go under or up? I think I'll go up. Go up one. So this one I do need to mark because it's a little bit tricky the way it is. But I don't think this one will be I think this will be a fast stitch. And it's hard stitching it with do you guys do that sometimes with smaller ones, like where it doesn't quite fit in the hoop? I think this is a 4-inch hoop. I used it for my mini ones when I was doing my mini ones, but I'm done with those for now. I will get those patterns. Ooh, I did not do that right. I will get those patterns posted this week, I promise. I just haven't. I have to take one more picture with the ruler, and I literally got the ruler out, and then I don't know, something distracted me, and I forgot to take the pictures. I think I was going to get the light out too, and I don't know. I didn't get around to it. I need to just to show how small they are, because the mini Tulip Fields ones are just so tiny right now. They're just like hard to film, so. I got to figure that out. But once I get those ones done, I'll get them up. I just have to get those photos taken. Maybe I can do that tomorrow. It won't take me very long to take the photos, I don't think. Because I have some of them. I just need one of them like together to show the size difference, and then I need one of each of them with the ruler to show the difference with the counts. I think I have to clean up the pattern too. I don't think I ever finished the pattern PDF. So maybe I won't get that done this week. Maybe it'll be next week. So we'll see. And then the strawberry one. Once I get this finished stitching, I can post this one up too. This one's little. I bet like this one would probably be good as like a mini as well, like a mini painting. I have to tweak it and see. I bet if you did like an off-white fabric, it might be cute as like a mini cross stitch pattern as well. All right. I think it's time. I'm very tired. I would love to stay longer, but thank you for watching. This is how far I got on this one. I'm sure you can tell exactly what it is, even though you really can't, because it's, you know, it's just a bunch of pink blobs, but I'll work on this one some more. And then by next week, I should have the thread for the letters on the self-care every day. So I am working on this one. I did post the link to this pattern in the chat. I think it's $4 on my Shopify site, so it's not bad. And you know what? You could pick whatever threads you wanted. You could just find scrap threads and stitch it. It doesn't use that much thread. It was literally like, so when I do my thread, you know, I pull it out and I do about this long, which is 24 inches. And I might have used like 1 or 2 lengths of that, like so maybe 24, you know, to 48 inches of each thread. So it wasn't a lot of thread for it. You could totally just find colors out of your stash if you didn't want to buy thread. And then I just used a piece of scrap fabric that I had from a different pattern. Or you could buy the Ada. Like I used the Ada. I think I used 16 count for the first one. And then this one I think is 14 count, this black. So it's a little bit bigger. It's finishing. Check. Yeah, it's just slightly bigger than the other one. So I think it's going to be just a little bit, maybe closer to 6 inches. Because the 16 count, it finishes at like 5 1/4 inches, I think, round. It's a round one. So, you know, it's just fun stuff that looks good. Like I'm going to hang it up on my wall so I can see it right here off camera. So I can see it and remind myself every day. So thank you for watching. I really do appreciate everybody. Look for another live next week. I'm probably going to do it on Tuesday morning at around 10 or 11 a.m. Pacific time. So I'll get that posted up and scheduled so that it'll be ready to go. But otherwise, you know, I hope you guys have a great week, and I guess we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.